Hi everyone. Now I'm going to explain model number 6 interfacing the 8051. It covers total 20 marks. Now we'll see how you are going to interface 8051 with different peripherals. For your syllabus, you have different peripheral devices. You can see the unit number 6 interfacing the 8051. Here we'll study how to interface different 7-second display LCD models ADC0804, waveform generation using DAC 0808, DC motor PWM for speed control, stepper motor, appropriate schematic and algorithm and C programs. We'll study all these things in this PPT, and here we'll explain all interfacing 8051 with peripherals, and you'll get the important questions on this unit are, we'll see from the question bank from unit number 6. So these are the important questions you are going to get. They are going to ask for 5 marks. Write a schematic for interfacing a 4 digital multiplex 7 segment display to 8051. Write a schematic for interfacing ADC 0804 to 8051. Sketch the schematic for interfacing DC motor to 8051. Sketch the schematic for interfacing 8 into 2 alphanumeric LCD to 8051 in 4-bit as well as 8-bit. And one more, sketch the schematic for interfacing a stepper motor 8051. Here they will ask only schematic diagrams and theoretical part. For 10 marks they are going to ask same questions with programs. See, here you can see that write a schematic, algorithm and a program to interface a stepper motor to 8051 and to rotate the motor in anti-clockwise direction using wave drive sequence. Next they are going to ask write a schematic, algorithm and a program to interface a ADC 0804 to 8051. Next write a schematic, algorithm and a program to interface DAC to generate triangular waveform. Already in lab you have done all this program execution and you got outputs as well, so you can write the same programs in external exams as well as the diagrams, and the same thing I am covering in this PPT as well. Now we'll see how you are going to interface these peripherals with 8051. These are the important questions. You have to give concentration and you have to practice more, and you will get these questions surely in external exams. Now we'll go to PPTs. We'll see first one, interfacing the 8051 to LCD. So now I am going to explain how you are going to interface LCD with 8051. Here LCD requires 3 control lines, that is set and read, write, enable, and 8 or 4 data lines. The number of data lines depends on the mode of operation. In which mode you are operating, that depends on that. You can select 8-bit mode, then 8 data lines plus 3 control lines. Total 11 lines are required. If you are operated in 4-bit mode, then you need 4 data lines plus 3 control lines. Total you need 7 lines are required. Now we'll see the how you are going to interface. Okay, so you can see here, so this is interfacing with LCD. I will make a zoom. Okay, so you can easily understand, you can see easily. This is the way of interfacing LCD with 8051. Okay, and you can see the pin numbers, which are pin numbers are connected to the LCDs, and this side how the crystal is connected. This is the figure interfacing 8051 with the LCD. Next we'll see pin description of your LCD, which are pins are using for interfacing with 8051. Now what are the functions of those pins in LCDs? Here we are going to connect 14 pin LCD display. I have written here which are the pins are used for which functions. The pin number 7 to 14 is written as DB0 to DB7, used as IO input as well as output pins. The description is these pins are used to carry the 8-bit datas from from LCD to 8051. You can use this pins as an input as well as output. And pin number 6 is a symbol is E, means enabled. You are going to use to enable for get the data. Pin number 5 read bar W, it's only used as input. Read or write is equal to 0 for you can perform the write operations. Read bar W is 1 for to read the from LCD. Next, pin number 4 RS, again it is as input pin. So RS is equal to 0 to select the command register. RS1 is to select the data registers. Here you are going to select 3 control pins. That is, you can say before start doing the operations with LCD, you have to give the commands and you have to interact with the 8051 to start the operations. For that you have to send some commands to the LCDs before display the characters on LCDs. So after that you have to make 1 to select the datas for sending the data to the LCD. For that you need data register. The pin number 3 is PE, that is nothing but power supply to control contrast. The pin number 2 is VCC plus 5 volt power supply. Pin number 1 VSS is a ground pin. You need ground as well as power supply to make it on LCDs. This is a pin description of your LCDs. After that we'll see how the LCD timing for read operations, how it is going to read, when it is going to read. This is timing diagrams. Next we'll go for sending data and commands to LCD with time delay. As I told earlier, so before start doing operations with LCD, you have to send some commands to make LCD ready to get the commands from 8051. Here to send any of the commands to LCD, make pin RS is equal to 0 for data, make RS1. Okay, for sending the commands RS should be 0, for sending the data RS should be 1. Then send a high to low pulse to the E pin to enable the internal latch of the LCD. This is shown in the code below. While seeing the code you will understand. Next we will see the interfacing diagram for LCD to 8051 as shown in the figure, that is above figure. It is going to give the idea how to interface, okay, your LCD with 8051. This is already I have shown. Total 14 pin IC 8051, which are pins are connected to which pin of LCDs. This pin description already given. Okay, what is the meaning of RS, RW, E, VSS, VDD and PE. Okay, you can see here these are pins description are given below. Okay, next you can see here this is the descriptions I have given here. Next we'll go for program. How you are going to write the program for interfacing the LCD with 8051. Okay, I have given comment for each line of code in this program. The program is calls a time delay before sending a next data or command. The port P1.0 to P1.7 are connected to the LCD data pins. D0 to D7. P2.0 is connected to RS pin of LCD. P2.1 is connected to read bar write pin of LCD. P2.2 is connected to E pin of LCD. Okay, they are mentioned the pin of ports where it is connected to, which pin is connected to LCDs. Now we have to start with ORG, first instruction in the 8051. Next move a comma hash 38. It means it initialize LCD 2 lines of display with 5 cross 7 matrix. Okay, rows and columns. Okay, 5 rows 7 columns. It has 2 line display. Next you have to call the COM, common WRT. It is a label name. It is subroutine. It has a program. Okay, for the command. For sending the command, you have to call this subroutine. It goes to this subroutine. It executes the commands. Next, you have to call the delay. You have to give the LCD sometimes. Okay, that is to make the this commands to read as well as keep ready LCD. Okay, you have to make some delays. Next we'll go for next instruction, move a comma 0h, display is on, cursor is on the LCDs. After that you have to again call the command subroutine. Again it is going to execute some commands. Next again you have to give this time for LCDs to perform these operations. Next you have to clear accumulator, that is move a comma hash 01, that is sent to the LCD to clear the LCD display. Next again you have to call the command subroutine. It continues to make your LCD on in proper ways to get all the characters on display of LCD, because the display has to start from left to right, a particular line, particular position you have to give according to the 5:7 matrix. Particular row, particular column has to start displaying the characters. So after that you have to start sending the letters. I have given here move a comma hash y. It's written with a double colon, means it takes ASCII value of y letter, that is means internally it takes ASCII values. That means the system will understand it's a y character depends on the ASCII values. Next you have to display the subroutine which relate to the data, because y is the data. Next again you have to give us some time LCD to perform operations. Next E letter, here you are displaying S is a word you are displaying on LCD, so you have to send every character one by one. Next move a comma hash E, written with a double colon, means it takes again ASCII value of E letter. Again call the display subroutine of data. Again you have to give the LCD sometimes. It has to continuous till to perform all 3 letter subroutine. Next again you have to, once you have display the characters, you have to stay here for the SJMP again for some time. Next this is the subroutine for commands. In command are written in the COMN WRT subroutine is move P1 comma A, that is copy register A to port 1. Next RS0 is equal to, for command means you have to keep LCD for command mode, and you have to select the whether you are doing read operation or write operation. Here they are going to write 0 for write operation, because you are writing the all 3 character on LCD display. Here next you have to keep enable state, because you have to enable the LCD. For that E is equal to 1, I am setting that one. These port pins are already assigned in the question itself. They are told which are pins are assigned for which pins of LCD. Next you have to call the delay to keep LCD for some times. Next finally you have to make it 0, that is enable 0 after displaying all characters, that is high to low pulse. For data subroutines you have to writing the datas. For that you have to keep rs1 is equal to 1 after writing, okay, after making write operations. That data has to be, after sending commands, after making your SLD ready position, you have to send all datas one by one yes. For that you have to tell the LCD the regarding the datas. rs is equal to 1 for data, and you are writing those characters. Again enable for high pulse, give the LCD for some times. Again you have to make it clear. This is a program. And delay program, you have to display characters for some delay, and you have to keep on communication with LCD. It takes some time. For that you have to use the delay again. It gives a delay for 50. Okay, you can see here, stay until R4 becomes 0. This is the execution of delay program. So this is the main program. You give more concentration on these programs. Again here you are, one more example I have taken. Instead of displaying the message, I am writing here no message, that is no message. Again they have given some pin numbers, same program, only instead of sending letters yes, you have to send letters no. Only that is a change. Remaining all program will be same. Okay, here next, sending the data or commands to LCD is checking the busy flag. Okay, you have to check whether the LCD is busy or not. Okay, for that you have to send letters. They are asking, or they are sending datas PI and C to the LCD using the busy flag methods. They are going to check the busy flag, that is by sending these letters. Okay, this is same program I have written in terms of C program. They are going to ask both in assembly as well as C. Okay, same technique, only I am explaining in the format of C. Remaining everything will be same. Okay, next we'll go for keyboard interfacing. So this is keyboard. As already you have seen, keyboard are organized in the matrix of rows and columns. The CPU accesses both rows and columns through ports. Therefore, with two 8-bit ports, here I am using 8x8 matrix of keys can be connected to the microprocessor or microcontroller. Okay, when key is pressed, row and column to make a contact, otherwise there is no connection between rows and columns. Whenever you are going to press the keys, it makes the connection between rows and columns of corresponding key. Okay, you can see this keyboard how you are going to make. See, this is a 4x4 matrix keyboard, and you can see the diagram and how the scanning and identify key is happening here. I have written here some note. Okay, as shown data bits is connected, how it is connected, which port they are using, which port for input, which port for output. Port 1 is kept for output, port 2 is kept for input. If no key has been pressed, reading the input port will be once for all the columns, since they are all connected to high VCC. If all the rows are grounded, the key is pressed, one of the columns will have 0, since the key is pressed provides path to the ground. Here some bits D0 to D4, lower bits of port 1 is connected to ground, which provides the zeros. D0 to D3 of port 2 is connected to the which provides ones. Okay, next I have given the steps how to scan and identify the key pressed. Here it is a function of microcontroller to scan the keyboard continuously to detect and identify the key pressed. It is very important to find out the which key is pressed. For that Here you have to check some steps and you have to read these steps, then you will understand how key is pressed, and if key is pressed, what are the operation is going to happen. If key is not pressed, what are the operations going to happen. First, to detect a pressed key, the microcontroller grounds all the rows by providing 0 to output latch, then it reads the columns. If data read from the columns is D3 to D0 is equal to 111, no key has been pressed and process continuously till key press is detected. So if data is read from the columns, if it is all or ones, that means key is not pressed. If key is pressed, the combination is going to change instead of all ones. If key is not pressed, always it's all or high. If one of the column bits has 0, that means the key press has occurred. That's why I'm telling, out of 4 bits, if any one bit becomes 0, that means you have pressed the key for corresponding column. So if D3 to D0, here you can see that 1101, that means D1 column of that one key is pressed. Here by detecting this one, it provides 0. When a key is pressed, a particular column, the particular column corresponding to particular bit becomes 0. This means that key in the D1 column has been pressed. After detecting a key press, microcontroller will go through the process for identifying the key. So starting with the top row, it's start with the first row, top row to bottom row. Microcontroller grounds it by providing a load to row D0 only. For row size, again D0 to D3 bits, always it's zeros. It reads the columns. If data is read all or once, no key in that row is activated. The process is moved to next row. If all data read as once, that means no key is pressed in that row. Again it's going to check for next row. Again reads the columns, check for any zeros. This process continues until row is identified. If any in particular row for column is 0, that means the key is pressed. Until unless to find the zeros, it keep on checking all the rows to key pressed process. After identification of the row in which key has been pressed, find out which column press key belongs to 0. That is, algorithm for detection and identification of key activation goes through the following stage. Again same thing, whatever I explained there, same I have written in terms of algorithms. And here according to the program, I have given some delays for checking the press key. Within that time delay, if I won't find any key press detections, it makes automatically 1. Okay, I have given here all the steps. Okay, you go through the steps and will understand how to find the key press in the 4x4 LCDs. So this is the algorithm I given. So same thing whatever explained there, same. It start flow chart for program. Okay, start ground all the rows. So all the rows initially zeros. Read all the columns, initially all are ones. All keys are open. It will understand by whether it is 1. If it is S, again it goes. Okay, otherwise it come back to if it is 1. Come read all the columns. All keys are down. S, wait for D bones. Read all the columns. Again all keys are down. Yes, again check for ground next row. All keys are down. Again it's keep on checking all the rows whether is 1 or 0. If it is 1, okay, it's keep on checking all the rows, find until unless key is pressed. If key is pressed, if you get the any key is pressed there, then it is going to get the scan code from the table and it returns. This is the flowchart for to check the key is pressed or not. Okay, this is the program I have written in terms of C. Okay, next interfacing is how to interface 8051 to parallel serial ADC, that is analog to digital converter interface. This is going to generate different digital values. Here analog to digital converter are among the most widely used devices for data acquisition. if you want to measure some analog parameters in real world by using the microcontroller, for example, the temperature, pressure, humidity and velocity, like that, if you want to read these values and you want to again if you want to process on these values, it is necessary to convert your all electrical signals into digital values or some other parameters to process on those values. For that you are using ADCs. Here the called transducer or sensor. You need analog to digital converter to translate the analog signals to digital numbers to processed by the microcontroller. Then only the microcontroller will read those values. That's why it is necessary to convert those values into digitals. So then how interface is going to happen with ADCs? Here you are using ADC 804. It is IC that is called as analog to digital converter. It works with 5 volts. It has a resolution of 8 bits. Okay, that means it produces 8 bits output. Conversion time is another major factor in judging the ADCs. Conversion time is defined as the time taken by ADC to convert analog input to digital numbers. Okay, that is called as conversion time. In ADC 804, conversion time is varies. It's not a fixed one. Depends on clock signals applied to the clock R and clock in pins, but it cannot be faster than 110 microseconds. Okay, you will understand very easily after reading this one. You can easily understand how the ADCs converts your analog values into digital values. This is a pin description of ADC 804. You can see the pins, which are pins used for data, are given to LEDs. This is the digital values is going to given by the ADCs after conversion. It's connected to LEDs. Next, read operations. Normally open to start. It's connected to INTR. And here you have 2 clock and R clock in. These 2 pins used to varies your conversion time. It takes time to convert analog values to digital values. The time is varies, depends on these 2 pins. Next, ground supply as well as power supplies to make ADC 0804 is enable state. Next, I have explained this all pins, how the conversion time is varies. Here using these 2 pins, clock in is an input pin is connected to external clock source. It's connected to the external clock source. To use the internal clock generator, also called self clocking. Okay, instead of connected to external, if you have self clocking, that is clock in and clock R pins are connected to the capacitor and resistor and clock frequency. And how you are going to calculate clock frequency? F is equal to 1 divided by 1.1 R and C. Depend on the values of resistor and capacitor, will get the clock frequency. So conversion time maximum you can get 110 microseconds. Next, supply. How you are going to give the supply to the ADCs 0804? We reference by 2. How it is going to calculate? It's a reference voltage. If this pin is open, not connected, analog input voltage in the range of 0 to 5 volts. Same as a VCC. Suppose if it is open. Okay, if it is connected, if the analog input range needs 0 to 4 volts, then V reference by 2 is connected to 2 volts. Step size is smaller change can be discerned by an ADC V reference by 2 relation to the input voltage range. So if you need the different voltage range, you have to use the V reference by 2. If you need the voltage range 0 to 5, no need to connect this pin. You can keep this one as an open state. No need to connect the VCC 5 volt supply range. If you need a 0 to 4 volts, then you have to connect V reference by 2. How it is going to calculate the voltage and how you are going to get the different voltage range, that is in terms of millivolt. D0 to D7 digital data output pins. After conversion, it gives the 8-bit output data in terms of bits. Tri-state buffered. Convert data is accessed only when CS is 0 and RD is posed to low. To calculate output voltage, it is going to use following formula. D out is equal to input voltage divided by step size. D out means digital data output. and decimal values. Vin means analog or analog voltage, and step size is nothing but resolution is the smallest change. And finally, you have to give the ground pins for analog as well as digitals here. Okay. Next, reference Vin and Vin minus, both are different analog inputs. For giving input voltage, you have to get the difference, that is input, how is going to calculate input voltage. Vin minus, Vin is connected to the ground. Vin plus means it as the analog input to be converted. Next, RD means it is the output enable. It's a high to low RD pulse is used to get the 8-bit converted data out of the ADC 0804. To get the digital data, you have to send the signal high to low. Next, finally, if you want to end of this conversion, after conversion of your all analog values into 8 digital output, you have to use this pin end of conversion. Once conversion is finished, you have to send the low signal to the CPU that the convert data is ready to pick it up. Okay, and if you want to start conversion, you have to use WR pin. When WR makes low to high transition, ADC 0804 start the converting the analog input of V into 8-bit digital number. CS is active low input used to activate the ADC 0804. So again same steps I have written here, how data conversion happens by the 0804 chip. Whatever written in terms of words, I make the points here. Okay, you can start the conversion and how to end the conversion. It is understand by the these steps. You have to follow these steps. In the exams, you have to write these steps, and you can see the timing diagrams. Timing diagrams not necessary to draw in the exams. You can write the steps. This is how to make connection to the ADC 0804 with self clocking. It doesn't require external clocks. Okay, with a self clocking. One more diagram you have, that is with external. Okay, in the exam you have to draw this one with the external clock. Okay, not to draw self clocking. That's only I have given for the understanding purpose. Okay, it's operates in two modes. They are going to ask, explain the 8051 connection to 80. So ADC 0804 with clock form XTAL2 of X51, or else they are going to ask, explain the interfacing of ADC 0804 with 8051. You have to draw this diagram. Next, you have to write the program, and you have to explain related to the pins of ADC 0804. Next, you have to write the steps. I already given steps. This is the connection diagrams. Okay, how we are going to connect. Next, I am going to show the program. It covers total 10 marks. Okay, programming part is very easy. Here I given the port which are pin are connected for the data, and you have to send the data to the P1 port. Next, you have to the bits which are connected, depends on the interfacing, you have to use those particular pins of port. Next, you have to send the data, and it is going to convert your data into the digital. That is same program I have given in terms of C. Okay, you have to going to send all or ones. So INT are 1, end of conversion, RD is 1, WR is 1, start of the conversions, and keep on checking both status. Okay, next it's going to read the values my data within RD0 and RD1. Within that you have to keep the data. Finally it is going to check the those status, and it converts analog to digital. Next, this is chip, how the chip is going to manufactured, what are the pins and what are the name of the pins in ADC 0808. For your syllabus you have 0804. Okay, so both are almost same, not much changes. Now we'll go for interfacing 8051 to DAC. This is to convert digital to analog. You can generate different format of waveforms by using microcontroller. Then you need DAC, digital to analog converter, to convert digital pulses to analog signals. Okay, it is mainly used to generate the different types of waveforms. Already I have done the interfacing of 8051 to DAC. In the lab session, we executed different waveforms: triangular, square, sine, okay, ramp views. Same thing they have explained here, okay, but here I have explained with the diagram and as well as how it is going to work and how it is going to convert output current. This is the formula: I out is equal to I reference. It takes all 8 bits and divided by the multiples of 2's, okay, continuously, okay, and finally it is the interfacing. This is very important exam point of view, okay. You have to draw this diagram in the exam. Again they are going to ask, explain the interfacing of DAC 0808 with 8051, and they are going to ask to write an ALP to generate a triangular waveform, square waveform or ramp waveform, okay, any one thing. With that you have to write the diagram and along with the program, okay. Here I have given how to generate a triangular waveform. Already you have seen how triangular waveform is there. According to that one, triangular waveform, you start with 0 and at the maximum value FF. Here for 0, start with 0, increment every time, slowly it is increment. It check for maximum value is FF. In 8-bit microcontroller, FF. In decimal, if you convert FF, you will get a 255. So if not equal, you keep on incrementing. After reaching 255, you have to again decrement. So from 255 to 00. So I was sending move P1 comma A. So it takes 255 now. In previous increment, it reached 255. From 255 to check for 00. Every time it is going to decrement by 1. After reaching 00, it is come out of the loop. Okay, this is the logic you have to use. For sine wave, this is the how to calculate 5 sine waveform voltage levels. Okay, if V0 is equal to 5 volt into 1 plus sine theta, okay, then how to write the program, okay. Here solution is calculate decimal values for every 10 degrees of the sine wave. These values can be maintained in a table. Simply the values can be sent to the port 1. Already observed sine wave on the CRS are given and you already done in lab also. Now I have given sine table. Sine table is it has the values of all sine values is a calculator using the formula. Next, those you have to take into the DPTR and you have to keep on counter, depends on the sine tables how many values. So next you have to clear accumulator. From the table you have to take values in accumulator, send to the P1, increment those values every time. DPTR contains. Next, Assumption table also I am given here. So those values is taken here, sine table. It's okay. Finally we get a sine waves. Okay. So I have given one. If you get better view, generate values of table per 2 degree. You have to consider. Next, finally, stepper motor interfacing. Okay. In most of the exams, they ask the stepper motor interfacing so many times. Again, the stepper motor. Why you need a stepper motor? That translate electric pulses into mechanical movement. For example, it's used in so many applications such as disk drives. You have seen the disk drives in the laptops, even in desktop computers. Dot matrix printer, robotics, and robotic almost for moment they are going to the stepper motor. The construction of stepper motor, we will see now how it is constructed. So this is the way they have constructed. See the structure of stepper motor, okay. It has one rotor and one stator. Here how the magnet is connected with the stepper motor. It has a different windings. You can see the 4 windings here. Which are windings connect to stator, which are windings connect to rotor. To the north pole rotor is connected to the center and stator is connected to the windings. You have to make windings energy. Once it get energy, it start rotate on clockwise and clockwise directions. Here I have written it has a permanent magnet rotor called the shaft, which is surrounded by the stator. You can see here it's a permanent magnet in center, okay. It surrounded by the 4 stators. So the stepper motor having 4 stator windings. It has 4 windings that are paired with the center tapped common. Such motors is called as 4-phase or unipolar stepper motor. Okay. Next, the stator is magnet over which electric coil is wound. Okay. So electric coil is wounded on every stator. Okay, you see in the figure shown with one color. Okay, to differentiate the electric coil. Okay, end of the coil is connected commonly either to the ground or 5 volt. Other end is provided with a fixed sequence, that is motor rotates in particular directions, either clockwise or anti-clockwise directions. Here you have to calculate the stator poles, okay, by sending the current through wire coils. If you want to change the direction of your stepper motor, just change the direction of current to change the direction of stepper motor. Then you have to calculate the steps for stepper motor. How much step it has to rotate, the degree angle you have to calculate. How much angle it has to rotate. That is how to calculate the stepper motor angle. The is calculated by 360 divided by step angle, number of steps per revolutions, steps per second rpm into steps per revolution divided by 60. They are going to given step angle 2 degree. The steps per revolution is 180. Okay, if you want to rotate 2 degree angle, you want to rotate stepper motor 2 degree, then how you are going to calculate steps? Depends on the steps per second, it's rotate particular angle. See, if you want to rotate your stepper motor 2 degree, you have to rotate the stepper motor how many steps? 180 steps. After rotating 180 steps, it rotates by 2 degree. Okay, this is, you have two types, that is full step, 2 phases on. This is, see, you can say clockwise direction, the steps, 4 steps which are windings should be on. Next one, anti-clockwise. It's a clockwise, counterclockwise. It's a counterclockwise directions, 1 page. So 4 sequences. If it is half step, 8 sequences. Okay, anti-clockwise connection. It's a clockwise, it's a anti-clockwise. Our diagrams also I have seen. This is clockwise, this is anti-clockwise. Okay, you have to send a sequence. This is a way to rotate the stepper motor clockwise. If you send a sequence starting from 0 1 1 to 1 0 0 1, it's anti-clockwise direction. Same thing for half step. Okay, you start with 1 0 0 1. Okay, start rotating in the clockwise. If I start giving a sequence 0 0 0 1, it is rotated in anti-clockwise. So this is the interfacing, how you are going to interface stepper motor to 805. It's very important as exam point of view. They are going to ask in the exam, explain the interfacing of stepper motor with 8051. You have to draw this diagram and you have to explain what I have explained till now. Those theory you have to add it, and after that you have to write the program to get the 10 marks. The write an LP to rotate the stepper motor clockwise or anti-clockwise continuously with full step sequence. Okay, according to the table which is explained now, you have to give move a comma hash 66h, the first 4-bit sequence which gives the values. Okay, let's see the values to understand. Okay, I will show that one how to make it. See, so sequence, this is gives a value 66, like this it gives another values, like this gives 4 values for full step. Half step again gives 8 4 1 2 1 sequence has to follow. Okay, BCD code follow to calculate the values. Again this is for half step. They are asking full step, the first value have to give 66 to rotate in clockwise. Next, send to the P1, rotate right the accumulator contents. Next value it comes automatically. This is continuous, and delay they are given. To see the rotation, you have to give the delay. If delay increases, speed of the stepper motor is going to increase. Okay, so next is simply making anti-clockwise direction. You change the instruction RLA instead of RRA. It change the direction of stepper motor. Okay, anti-clockwise. That value is going to change. Okay, for the anti-clockwise direction. So another example, depends on switch status, they are asking to rotate the stepper motor in clockwise and anti-clockwise. If switch is 0, moves the stepper motor clockwise. If switch is 1, for anti-clockwise. There I am checking the status using jump instruction. Okay, using jump instruction, check the status of particular port bit of P2. That's the switch is connected to the P2.7. That's why I am checking the 7th bit of port P2, whether it is 1 or 0. If it is 0, it is going to rotate right. Okay, it comes here, depends on the label. Suppose if it is 1, it rotated anti-clockwise. That's why it is RLA. For RLA is for anti-clockwise, RRA is for clockwise direction. Same program is for delay, whatever given the delay in previous program, same program will write it here. Okay, next half step sequence, the only value is going to change, nothing else, everything will be same. So half step values are given here, same values is sent there. Okay, it is rotated to the stepper motor clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. Here same programs I have written here, C language. Okay, file 1 always true. Okay, next you have to add first header hash include reg51.h. it's compulsory for all C programs. While when first instruction for C. Next you have to start with the 66 for clockwise, add it to the delay. You have to send total 4 values for 4 windings. Okay, you have to add the delay for every windings. Next I have written the delay program. After that, for next program I have given depends on switch status. So this is the way to declare a switch for the particular bit. Okay, this is special function register. I have declared particular bit is S bit. Okay, next switch is the name you have given. Next P2 cap 7, 7th bit of port 2 is connected for switch. Check the status of switch, switch is 1 or switch is 0. For that I am using if condition here. If switch is 0, this is sequence to rotate, same thing 66 to CC, 66 33 99 CC. If same sequence you rotate in reverse, 66 CC 99 33 for reverse. Same delay again. This is the way of rotating a stepper motor. Finally is DC motor. Okay, DC motor widely used device to translate electric pulses and mechanical pulses. Again here DC motor is rotate continuously. Stepper motor rotates particular angle in terms of steps, but DC motor rotates continuously. That's the main changes in the stepper motor as well as DC motors. This is the DC motor rotation, clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction, depends on the polarity of supply you are given. You can see the supply of both to change the direction of the motor by directional control. Okay, how it is going to rotate in clockwise and anti-clockwise, which is you can known as a invalid state or short circuit. Okay, after that you can see the example. Okay, again depends on the switch status. You are going to write a program to DC motor to move in clockwise or anti-clockwise. If switch is 0, again DC motor moves in clockwise. If switch is 1, DC motor moves in anti-clockwise directions. Okay, start with the ORG. Here these pins are connected to the particular motor windings of DC motors, and it is going to check the switch status. Set B P2.7 depends on this status. Switch is 0, it is going to make your DC motor run in clockwise directions using the first pin of P1, second pin of P1 and third pin is 1. Then it is going to monitor, same thing it is going to monitor to run in the clockwise. If it is 1, rotate in anti-clockwise. Which are the pins are making 0 here, make it reverse, make it 1. Which pin is set here, make it 0, that rotates in anti-clockwise directions. So this is the way you have to write the program to run the DC motor in anti-clockwise. Finally, pulse width modulation. It's asked very less number of times. Okay, pulse width modulation. Here speed of motor depends on 3 parameters: load, voltage, current. For given load, you can maintain steady speed by using the PWM. Okay, When width of pulse is applied to DC motor, power provided either can be increased or decreased. The voltage has fixed amplitude and variable duty cycle. The wider the pulse, higher the speed obtained. Okay. So you will see by using PWM how you are running the DC motor with different duty cycles. Okay. This is depends on duty cycle. You are going to run the DC motor. They are going to ask here some example I have given how it is going to run the DC motor. These example the C programming, okay, which are program I explained previously, example 7 and 8. Depends on this one, you can write these programs in C. Same thing again, switches they are going to check. If switch is 0, same thing, whatever program written in assembly, I am going to write those programs C language. Okay, first you have to declare all the port bits which are using in the program as a S bit declarations. I have given so many examples in the classes how to declare the port bits. Okay, and names are user dependent, you can use a particular and understandable names. Okay, next you have to check the conditions. Next, depends on the conditions, you have to make it 0 and 1s to run the DC motor clockwise and anti-clockwise. This is for clockwise and this is for anti-clockwise. It depends on the asking for, depends on the program statements. And another one depends on the duty cycle. Just I have added duty cycle here using the PWM technology techniques that gives the program for duty cycle. Okay, just I have added switch, same switch, monitor status depends on switches, only it drives 50% duty cycle, not complete rotation for DC motor, it rotates only for 50%. Okay, if switch is on, rotates for 25%. I have given the delay for that. Okay, it changes the motor running. Okay, see, for 50% duty cycle, next for a 25% duty cycle. So this is the overall concepts of unit number 6, interfacing of 8051. With this I am concluding that you just concentrate all this concept, prepare well, and if you have any doubts, come back to me. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubts, come back to me and read all these questions, and I have given the assignment questions. Solve those assignment questions. Okay, complete this unit to cover 20 marks, and concentrate more important questions I have given in the syllabus copy as well as the classes, and concentrate on the diagrams, concentrate on the programs. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.